All right, we are here with the outstanding defensive end of the New Orleans Saints, Cam Jordan, a man who is also a podcast host, Off the Edge, with NFL Media. Cam, were your feelings hurt at all that the podcast group didn't go along in the ESPN package?
I thought I was being absorbed as well. My podcast sponsored by NFL Network and iHeartRadio. And I guess it's still sponsored by NFL Network and iHeartRadio. I don't.
It is. I mean, it's in the press release,
right.
and it says the NFL still owns a podcast. I think that's a good thing. I think they think we're doing such a good job, Cam. They want to keep it going into the future. How has it been, by the way, being a podcast host / player?
Podcast life has been wonderful. The first couple of years when it was me and Mark and there was a tandem. You gotta love a good duo, And then when you go solo. It's not as fun when you're talking to yourself because now you're truly talking to yourself. At least if you live stream something, you got a chat you're talking to. You got Batman.
You got guests.
Yeah, there's Batman and Robin, but Batman and Robin used to work together.
Right.
Batman Nightwing.
I feel that.
Now you're just a
the
solo
whole
shot.
thing is on your shoulder. If it doesn't go well,
Guess whose fault it is?
You can't really blame anyone.
Can't blame anybody
It's
but
on you.
yourself. No, you blame your producers. You fed me the wrong information. You said 7-time Pro Bowler, not 8-time Pro Bowler. Gosh darn it, Batman.
No, we got the best in the business helping you out, including Chris Bonus sometimes on the Off the Edge team. You guys look great out there today.
Yeah, it was a fun
this
one.
Saints defense. I know it wasn't a heavy day of practice, but that looked like a defense that's
That was
feeling
like
themselves.
5 team periods. I don't.
Okay.
I appreciate it. You got to after me. I guess there's another guy who's in the podcast space as well. We're all just podcast family.
We got Juwan Johnson.
Juwan
coming on.
Johnson.
Yes.
Jew Shan Jew.
Tell me about how this defense feels different maybe than last year. Not comparing and contrast. It's just a lot of different players, not in terms of the scheme and everything, but it is a lot of new players on this team.
There's a lot. You bring in Justin Reid. You got Julian Blackmon. That complete new backfield in the safeties area, right? You have the surgence of Kool-Aid McKinstry heading to his second year. Looks like he's dialed in. Alante Taylor heading to year 4 now? Love it right
Contract
now.
year.
Man, and I'm a vocal leader. You can feel it on the field. Justin Reid came in with a commanding presence. Of course, you got Pete Warner, Demario Davis. I feel like Jalen Ford as well as DeMarco Jackson is having great camps. We bring in, now our D tackles. I think you can label them defensive ends or something like that. Whatever you want to label them. Just know our D line is hulked up. Guys are getting bigger, stronger.
I mean, and you're a big group.
Yeah.
Brandon Staley likes those big guys up front.
No doubt.
He's got a type.
Yeah, I'll say, Edge is 6'4" and above. Carl Granderson 6'5", Chase Young 6'5". Cam Jordan is a short one of the bunch, 6'4". Gosh darn it, Batman. Randazzo.
I'm 5'5", 5'6". So
Yeah,
I don't
my
need-
dad
I don't
married
need
for
to-
love.
Although I
Silly.
felt better watching your Blake Groupie was he was closer to my side. I
Yeah,
was
Blake
you don't see an
Groupie
NFL
gives
guy.
everybody hope. He's like, oh, that's a football player? No, he's a kicker. There's a difference.
I can tell my son though it's not his fault the genetics. I can tell my son
No
look
doubt.
at that
He's got a
man.
strong leg.
You got a chance.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you've been in New Orleans forever. I have been a short-time resident of New Orleans. I went to college at Tulane, and I have a lot of love.
Good old Tulane.
Yeah, for the city. How has living in New Orleans this long changed you?
Man, all my kids is from there. Met my wife down in good old Magnolia. The 504 is special, man. Everything that I've wanted to accomplish happened there. Wildest dreams have been accomplished there. I've got one dream left, and that's to win the Super Bowl. Because other than that, I've done it all. I've done it all. It's been a blessing.
Don't you feel like New Orleans is just a little different? So I think for people that haven't spent that time in New Orleans, what do you think is different about playing there as a professional athlete, living there than in different places?
The fans live, breathe, eat football. They made no gap assignments. When you think about, we come from the West Coast, you go to the South, we like football on the West Coast. We appreciate athletics. It's an event to go to. No. In the South, they're looking forward to Sunday. The only reason they're happy about Friday is because Sunday's coming faster. It's who we play. They got their schedule down. They've got the jerseys that they're going to wear to the games. They've got their rituals of like what chips they eat before each drive. There is a tradition in New Orleans, and it's nothing but the Saints.
And when you're playing against this offense, then. And today, for sure, it was a good day for the defense, and that's what
It's
I've been
always
reading.
a good day for the defense in my mind.
Right. Is there part of you that's almost like, all right, we got to bring this offense along too. We got to bring these young quarterbacks along as a leader of this
through
team.
the fire. Through the fire. Your sharpest metals are repeatedly made from the fire. You forge it in the fire. You remelt and you do it again. There's a technique to that. I forget what it's called, but we're folding metal here. That eventually it's going to sharpen up to where we're going to be a quite a fine blade against other people.
You're asking the wrong guy. Although I did watch the reality show where they do where they're cooking with the fire and the art. I'm totally forgetting where they're bending the glass, like glass blowing. Those are some real artists.
If you say so.
Those are some real people.
Yeah. I'm not one of them artisans. I do not know.
I just thought you might know that a Renaissance man. All right, wrapping up. Are you paying attention to your numbers? I'm thinking about that partly because Canton just happened, and I was thinking, okay, someday at some point they'll be talking about your numbers, and they'll be talking about the different numbers. Do you pay attention to like your sack totals and all that different sort of stuff?
Of course, in the off season, I've always said off season was a time to appreciate accolades, and in season is a time to appreciate getting after the quarterback. I'm right on the cusp, but I've seen weaker Hall of Fame classes. I'm trying to be on the fence about like, hey, congratulations to everybody who gets in, but I'm leaning on all right, let's make it somewhere of a standard. If you're not like for me, linebackers, if you don't have 200 tackles, like I'm like,
okay.
Hey, like it has to be greatness by longevity, not greatness by splash of.
It depends how splashy that splash is, because like Sterling
Ring
Sharp,
of great.
Sterling Sharp, for instance, like
Ring
he
of
was
honor.
so amazing.
Ring of honor. To guys that in my mind, you got a minimum 9 or 10 year threshold. If you didn't make the mark, I'm not going to lie to you. That's just how I feel. But at the same time, I'm not here to say that he's not worthy. In my mind, I've always looked at the guys, the Chris Dolmans, the John Randalls. I've looked at guys who played 14, Michael Strahans, Julius Peppers, Bruce Smiths, Reggie Whites, guys who played 10, 12, 14, 15 years, and they were great for not only 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 or 9, 10 years of greatness.
I love it.
You've got a standard like 6, 7, 8, 9 Pro Bowls. Not like I don't want to hear, he had 3 years where he was untouchable. All right, what was the other 3 years? If he hadn't been hurt and he didn't have any.
Man, Sterling Sharp taking fire.
It's not Sterling Sharp.
Because to be him, his peak is so amazing that if you're that dominant, then you get a little extra credit. But I hear you that you got
definitely not talking about Sterling Sharp. There's a certain outside linebacker edge type that may have gotten in some years back that I looked at and I said, well, I guess I'm already worthy.
Well,
if you don't enter as a D lineman, if you're as an edge guy, if you don't touch 100 sacks, now as an interior, you drop that number by at least 30.
People out there can do the research and find out who that is. But yeah, if I were you, I would look at that and
you
say
go Hall of really good.
That's only going to help me in the long run. Do you pay attention though to your podcast numbers? That's the key.
Absolutely. I love my podcast numbers. I know all of them. No. I love the idea that I get to talk to my friends online. I get to share these experiences with the world. And in New Orleans, kids can listen to my podcast and not have to worry about what's going on. They're like, man, I get reprimanded sometimes because it feels like New Orleans is such a familial place. They're like, Cam, my son heard you say. I said, oh, you know what? That is my fault. I do try and do better. And I want to be somebody that everybody can look up to, but I do have a good time on my podcast. It's where you get to let down the hair.
Well, he's going to be joining us someday, whether it's NFL Media, whether it's ESPN.
No doubt.
Who really knows where it's going to be? Appreciate you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cam Jordan.
Has nothing to do with Sterling.
Off the
but
edge.
Maybe it does, if it applies.
No, I'm not trying to get you in trouble.
Shannon's going to call me like, you're talking about my big brother. No, we're not talking about your big brother. He's amazing. But if he's in, I think my dad might be in.
Okay.
I'm going to start rallying Steve Jordan for the Hall of Fame. Top 50 Minnesota Viking, Ring of Honor electee, time to be in the Hall of Great. And then we'll have a Hall of Fame. I don't know.
You never know. Sometimes you wait like 25, 30 years, and then it happens.
I don't like that. You know what? Either way, before I stick my foot in my mouth, you've been a blast.
Appreciate you. All right, we are here with Saints safety, Justin Reid. Great to meet you. Great to talk to you. You were saying like you felt like you barely even practiced today.
Yeah, it felt like we only warmed up and it's already over.
Well, it hasn't been like describe this training camp to me. Now you're out in California, a little different to Louisiana, but what was it like back there?
Yeah, in Louisiana, it was like, honestly, it's about just building the culture. It was about building the dog mentality, because when you're getting heat index 115 day after day, and you know what you're going to get when you walk out there, like you're sweating. We did walkthroughs and your shirt's drenched by the end of a walkthrough. So practice was just about making sure, one, you prepare the right way, hydration-wise. If you're not hydrated, you don't stand a chance. And then just having that dog mentality, being a physical team, building camaraderie, because we have a ton of new faces on this team. I think like 2/3 of the roster is new. And it's like continue to build.
And you're one of them. And normally I would think, you're coming in here at year 8, right?
Yep.
For you. You've been in the league, you've seen some things, and you come over here, you'd be like the veteran leader guy on this team. But Demario Davis has been in the league for 14 years. Cam Jordan's been on this team for 15 straight years. So what is it like joining a defense like that with that kind of leadership? What's the mix been like?
I mean, it's been huge. I mean, we are not short of experience by any means, especially on the defensive side of the ball. And it's been cool that, we have so much experience that we can bring to conversations, talking about ball, what we want to do here, what we want to do there, knowing problem plays that we've had from different systems that we played in the past, and being able to talk it out before we even get it, So I think that's really accelerated us gelling together as a defense.
Are you the one that's making a lot of the communication and the calls? I know it's a new defense with Brandon Staley. Does he give you that freedom from your position to change things up from the field?
Yeah, so, the back end, we were responsible for the back 7 coverage-wise, and the linebackers are responsible for the front and what they want to do pass rush-wise and with the run defense and everything like that. So Double D and Pete, they control the front 7, and me and Julian and Jay Howe, we control the back 7.
Mm-hmm. And Julian Blackman you're referring to, who also just arrived here. And that's kind of an idea of like what a new team this is. And yet watching you out there, it felt like the defense, there's a lot of energy. There's a lot of cohesion right now. There's a lot of trash talking too from Demario. He said he wanted us to write down that you guys didn't let them in the paint all day.
Yeah. Yeah, that is a fact. And it's really the way that Kellen's built this group. He's been really intentional about doing team bonding events and building chemistry and making it a space to where guys are close enough to challenge each other and talk trash to each other, you know what I mean, and try and, bring the best out of each other. So been a ton of fun, and we don't take it easy on each other. We're out here to compete. We're not out here on vacation, and it's just about continuing to sharpen that steel so we get ready to go on the field.
What's something you can take from your experience winning those Super Bowls, playing in the Super Bowls for the Chiefs?
Number one thing is that it takes everybody. Like, I believe that wholeheartedly. It isn't just your front line, first 11 guys that step on the field. At some point in the season, you're going to need somebody to step up, and they're going to need to make a play that's going to win or lose you the game. You know what I mean? You want every man to be prepared for that. So over communication is never a bad thing. So over-communicate everything. Be loud. Be assertive. Even if you're wrong, if you're loud and assertive and everyone's doing the same thing, you're going to be all right. But you just get rid of those busted plays, and you'll be able to play good football.
You got to be right, though. You can't be assertive and wrong, right?
I mean, being assertive and wrong is 1,000% better than being quiet and not saying anything at all.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. I love hearing that. I'm curious kind of what a Brandon Staley defense is like. It's obviously new for you here, but kind of what would you say the trademarks of what you guys are trying to get accomplished are?
Oh, he wants everyone to play fast. He doesn't want any thinking. No thinking. He wants everyone to play fast. He wants it to be physical. He loves loading the box with the big guys up front. We play a lot of 5 down, sometimes 6 down coverages. And those edge players are just, out there to wreak havoc.
And you got a lot of them.
Yeah.
I was thinking, you're a Louisiana guy. It just seems like it's a thing. Maybe I'm wrong. Honey Badger before you, but I feel like a lot of Louisiana guys end up back on the Saints. What is it?
Yeah.
What is it with Louisiana, with New Orleans that kind of made you want to come home?
I mean, football is, everyone from Louisiana knows football is like close to religion down there. Everyone is going to know everyone's name that's on the field. And what's crazy is when you get drafted and you go through the process in my 7 years, like, it's not a thought that crosses your mind until the opportunity presents itself. And it's like, you start thinking back, and it's like when, you're watching that 2009 Super Bowl, and it's like what that did for the entire state. And, I have friends back home that dedicated entire enshrinements, like a whole room to that moment, and then you get the opportunity to do it, and you think about those moments, and it's just such a cool opportunity. You don't want to
You
pass
must
it
have
up.
been at the age where you were enjoying that. Where did you watch that Super Bowl?
At home, probably at my Uncle Kevin's house. We have a family get-togethers of 60+ people. Yeah, and all of them know ball. My mom is probably the biggest football fan in the family.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's some Louisiana stuff, some New Orleans stuff, and a defense-led Saints team. That's kind of turning it back to the old Saints, back when I was younger. Justin Reid, appreciate having you on.
Absolutely.
All right, here with the veteran tight end of the New Orleans Saints, Juwan Johnson. Are you a veteran? I feel like when you get the next contract, you are a veteran.
I was just about to say, you just called me a veteran. That just made me feel so weird.
But I feel like the difference between a veteran and not, and you can tell me if not, is when you get that nice second contract. That's the moment.
Yeah, you can say that. I mean, I feel like it's everybody's opinion. I feel like it's all subjective what a veteran is. I feel like after you've been through a couple coaches, it could be that after year 5, maybe.
Yeah.
I feel like when you're getting up a little early and you're just like, man, I don't know about this one today. I think you could be considered a vet then, but I feel like, sometimes it's a little bit different just depending on the person. But yeah, it's just weird that you call me a vet. I mean, I just never thought about it, I guess.
I think so too, because it snuck up on me when you signed that contract this offseason. I guess I was like, okay, I guess he's been in the league that long. I think of you as a young player too. Were you, I don't know if surprise is the right word, but did you expect to come back to New Orleans?
Honestly, no and yes. Long story short, I was waiting for the Saints for a really long time. Like, man, I want to be back, but you guys haven't talked to me in so long. And then, right before stuff was about to, go into things, we had a conversation and they extended me, and I was super excited. So, me and my wife, we were just really excited to be back. My kids are here. My foundation is here. I have a great community here. We appreciate you, Cam. Honestly, we just have so much here in New Orleans, and we just want to continue to build with this community. And honestly, I want to build this franchise, so that's what I really wanted to do, and I want to stick with them.
What is that with contracts and bosses and corporations? They always do wait till the last minute.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like you're going in like any other job. You're like, hey, I want to raise. Like, you're not going in and saying that. I was just kind of being patient about the situation, and I think they saw the value in me, and I definitely saw the value in staying. And, I really just wanted to be with the franchise. And obviously I see what Kellen is doing and what he did before and did in Philly, did the Chargers, did the Cowboys. He has a long rap sheet. It's great. And obviously, being with Miss Benson and being with Mickey Loomis and all those guys and Dennis Lauscher, I feel like it was just so good. And I've had such a good relationship with them, and I just want to continue that. So
yeah, I heard the scrimmage the other day was 126 plays. So has that been an emphasis? Like, you're getting a lot of work in a short amount of time?
Yeah, I mean, it was a surprise. I mean, honestly, when you look at the clock over there, you're like, man, I think we're supposed to be done at 11, and it's 11:30. You're just like, whoa, like, we've been out here for quite a bit. You see guys' shoes swishing and junk, and, their pants are all soaked. It's just like, sheesh, we've been out here for a minute. But it's some work that we need. I feel like, Kellen's been really good with taking care of our bodies, and I think it is good to kind of simulate a game. And I think that's something he's been really good about, is kind of like simulating game-like situations.
I took it as meaningful when I read that little story that he had you guys watching the Indiana Pacers a little bit, talking about pace. Do you think this is going to be like a fast offense?
Yeah, well, you have to. I mean, you got to think about it. Like, Pacers only had one superstar, if you want to call him a superstar. And so, them just having like...
He's a superstar.
Yeah, I mean,
we're going to go back and litigate that?
I'm just saying, some people may not. I think he is. Some people may not. I tell you what, the Dream Team didn't. I mean, that's all I'm saying. They didn't even play the guy.
I mean, they didn't think my guy Jason Tatum was a superstar.
That's very true, which I'm kind of frustrated about. But besides the point, I mean, I think just having a fast-paced offense, something that gets the defense on their toes, is something that is definitely a change-up. We have a change-up, we have a curveball, and we have like a slow-paced situation too. So it's always good to like keep the defense on their heels and not know not knowing what we're going to expect. So
you're figuring out who your starting quarterback is going to be. Tyler Shuck, I thought, had some moments out there today. Spencer Rattler, you had your guys on the move, certainly. I guess just like, what have you seen out of your group, including Jake Haener, this camp?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, the one thing that I take about is that all of them are so supportive. And the thing is like, I feel like in situations you can kind of get like kind of like a vibe from, each guy that is just like, they just don't like seeing each other succeed. And that's not something that I've peeped at all from even the beginning of us even drafting Tyler. And so all the guys have been super supportive, super helpful. They even coaching each other up, and I think that's been the biggest thing about it all is that a leader is going to be out of this group, whoever it is. Like whatever guy you're going to have, he's going to be a leader, and honestly, that's what you need. And whoever we have, whether that's Jake, Tyler, or Spencer, I mean, you should be really excited on who we're going to get.
I won't make you call out any former situations, but I've definitely heard, read, seen many a quarterback room where they were not supporting each other.
Well, yeah,
they get catty those quarterbacks.
We've heard some that said that he's not there to coach other people, and and that's fair because he's also a fellow Jersey guy, so I won't say his name.
What? I think he's just like a tough. Yeah, Joe Flacco. You're talking about. I think he just sounds like he's gruff, and he's being honest. Actually, he's good behind the scenes. But back in the day, you did hear and read and see that him and Lamar, maybe when he was at a different point in his career, it maybe wasn't as cool. Before I let you go, you got this weighted shirt on. You said, now you're a veteran. It's tougher to get out of bed in the morning and stuff. You're making it tougher to practice with a weighted shirt. What's up with that?
It's something about adversity that you got to have, and so I just throw in a little bit more weight, just have a little bit more restriction when you're playing out there. I mean, I feel like, it's kind of like a mindset thing. People ask like, oh, you have what, 5 pounds on? I'm like, yeah. I mean, it's just a mindset. You really don't feel, you just go out there, you playing, and then you take your shirt off, and then you feel like you're like 10 pounds lighter. So
okay,
that was kind of more of the
But what
thing.
if you I don't know, you probably aren't reading camp reports or anything like that. But what if they were like, well, Juwan Johnson was looking a little, a little slower today, looking a little 5 pounds heavier today, something like that.
Right. Honestly, I don't really read into that, but I will say this: if somebody came up and asked me, I'm like, well, hey, if I'm a little slower, maybe I need to work on getting a little faster, and I'll still have this on. So,
right.
I mean, on game day, it'll look a little different, and I think that's probably what matters.
Right. It's like that donut on your baseball bat when you're
Exactly.
out there in the
when you're out there in the
games.
you're out there and you're warming up and you're on deck. You got the little donut swinging and stuff, and then when you go out there, hit a grand slam, whatever the case may be, nobody has any questions.
But it is the veteran, but he looks fresh, and you can check him out this preseason. Juwan Johnson, appreciate you.
Absolutely appreciate you, man.
Here with Chris Olave, the talented young Saints receiver, a perfectionist. You weren't pleased with your practice today as you were coming over here.
Oh yeah, man. It was just first day out here. Got high standard for myself, but we gonna bounce back tomorrow.
Tough matchups though. Kool-Aid McKinstry, Alante Taylor. I saw on you different points today. What's it like been going up against those guys?
It's competition, man. They're great cornerbacks. We go up against each other every day. Iron sharpens iron. We've been doing that all camp. So they win some, I win some, but at the end of the day, it's a great competition.
Do you like all the talking they're doing?
I love it.
They're doing a lot. Do you do a lot of talking?
When I need to. I don't start it, but if they talk to me, I'll talk back.
Okay. When I think of Chris Olave, I remember when you came out in the draft and your route running and your ability to stop on a dime with some of those stop routes and just be so precise in that. How did you get that to be one of your strengths? And would you agree that's one of your strengths?
Just repetition every day, especially going into college at Ohio State. Coach Hartline taught us a lot from an early age. Once I got there at 18 years old, I learned that for 3-4 years, learning from him. And the receiver room, just being so deep, having that competition, watching everybody else work, it made me just work even harder. So just like I said, just having that from 18 years old and trying to sharpen it every year, getting into the league was an easy transition for me.
Was there someone you liked watching while you were back in college to kind of learn the craft?
It was really a lot of them. Really, everybody was good in the room. Terry McLaurin, Paris Campbell, all the older guys that was in front of me. Just watched them my freshman year, then try to work on my craft every day. Try to perfect my craft. So when my time came, I was the best I could be.
You're now with Rashid Shaheed, a lot of pop for him this training camp. What have you seen out of him and his growth and how you guys are going to play together?
He's great, man. Once I saw him come in our rookie year, I think he was injured at first, but I seen him working off to the side. I seen he had potential to be what he could be, and every year seeing him develop into a complete receiver. I'm excited for him, man, and he's humble as a person, and I can't wait to see what he does this year. It's sky's the limit for him.
So, I asked one of my friends who's a Saints fan, what should I ask some of these guys? You got anything you want? And he wanted to know, how does a Kellen Moore offense help Chris Olave? What is it new or different, and how this offense is structured that you think can help out your game?
Man, he puts the players in great positions, so it's not really a scheme. He puts the players in great positions to win. He knows what we're good at. He knows what we're great at, and he puts us in that position to be able to win on the field. So he looks at matchups, he looks at every part of the game to have us succeed. And like I said, he puts us in great positions to be able to win. So I'm excited for this year and what he provides for us.
Like offensively, it's a big change for this team. You know, you were in a certain sort of scheme, and there was continuity in terms of the coaches that were there. Your offensive coordinator. Like, what is this new season been like for you? Like, what have you felt and been different? Could be anything. Could be the scheme, or it could be the way you're attacking training camp, like the vibe of the team. Anything that you feel like is different.
Just from top to bottom, man, it's a whole different vibe, whole different energy. I love the energy around the building. I love the energy the coaches bring from the top to the bottom. Like I said, Kellen's done a great job in bringing everybody with him. He brought everybody, a lot of people from Philadelphia. They just won a Super Bowl. So, like I said, just from the top to the bottom, the vibes, the energy, everybody's bought in. The chemistry among the team is great. So I'm excited for the future, but the season's gonna be great.
I feel like the Saints are not getting as much attention maybe nationally. So the people out there, you know, getting ready for this season, you think they're gonna be wrong? Tell them why they are going to be wrong if you think that.
Oh, man, we not worried about the outside world, man. We just focus on ourselves. Like I said, we got a great roster on paper. We just got to keep building every day, build the chemistry along the team. So when we get in those hard parts of the season, we got to lean on each other. And like I said, we developed that bond, that chemistry right now. So when we get there, we're ready for that moment.
Appreciate you. Chris Olave, New Orleans Saints.